Hey everyone, I've been trying to do this video and it just hasn't been coming together nicely, so hopefully 1 millionth time's a charm. Today is July 14th, Sunday, July 14th, 2019. I apologize, I'm doing laundry, so random noises are things falling off of the washer. My height weight when I started the program was 248. This morning I weighed in at 162. So that's a total of 86 pounds lost. And I'm very proud of that. I actually fit into some size 6s now. And even before I wasn't wearing size 6s. I mean, the last time I was a size 6 was when I want to say, it was the summer between my junior and senior year of college. And that's when I dropped 30 pounds in a month and got down to 130. I think I've explained this before, but just in case, I couldn't eat. My stomach hurt so bad, I just couldn't eat, and doctors couldn't find anything wrong. They didn't know what was happening, so I just was dropping weight like crazy. But when I dropped all that weight, I was wearing a kind of tight 2, a more comfortable 4, but that was the last time I wore anything smaller than an 8. I mean, 8 or larger, you know, and I definitely could have, at my high weight, I could have been a 22. I didn't want to accept that I was as big as I was, so I was forcing myself into the 20s that I was wearing. But yeah, it's definitely super exciting to put on clothes that fit, that I never thought I would ever see again, like the single fidgets. I didn't ever think I would see those again. So just to give a little update, I finally saw my brother and brother-in-law for 4th of July. Excuse me. And the whole time they were out visiting, they just kept telling me how skinny I am. I'm like, no, I'm not quite skinny. I mean, I've definitely lost a considerable amount of weight from where I was, but I still have, what is that, 32 pounds to go. And even then, I don't think a healthy, what's considered a healthy weight for my height, I think is like 115 to 120. So my goal of 130 still wouldn't put me like in the healthy range. So, and I accept that 130 may even be too small for me. You know, I mean, there are people that lose weight, and once they get down to their goal weight, they're like, hey, this isn't healthy, I need to gain. So I'm just gonna see how it feels once I get there and go from there. Yeah, they both told me that they wouldn't know it was me if they didn't know it was me getting out of the truck when they saw me for the first time since Christmas. They would have thought it was someone else. So, and it's so encouraging and so nice to hear that, you know, it's just encouraging, and I generally don't take pride in myself. I don't take pride in my accomplishments, I guess, just because I just do what I do, you know. But I'm proud of myself for the weight that I've lost. It's not been easy. I eat breakfast at like 8:30 this morning, and it's sometime between 2:30 and 3, I want to say. And I still feel gross. I still feel nasty. I took a couple sips of my Crystal Light, and I thought I was going to throw up. I was salivating like I was going to throw up, but nothing happened. Not to be gross, sorry. But yeah, I just feel awful. And at the same time that I still feel awful, my stomach is like grumbling like it's hungry, and I just don't understand. I just want to be like, make up your mind. Either you're hungry or you're not, and leave me alone. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna try and give some more Crystal Light a try. See how I can do with that. Been trying to think of, because I see a lot of top 10 things people didn't know before they had surgery, or things they wish they knew, you know, different things like that. And I can honestly say that with the amount of research I did, there wasn't much that I didn't know or that I just didn't know could happen or would happen, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But the one thing I didn't anticipate, and I actually don't think I've ever seen it mentioned, but I do not spend a lot of time on Facebook, just because my new job is consuming. I don't have the free time I did at my old job, but losing weight in my legs has been more trying, I guess. And I know that there have been people that have carried their weight in their legs. And don't get me wrong, I definitely have thick thighs still. Yeah, I definitely still have good sized thighs. But my calves are where it kind of annoys me, because my mom gave me a couple pairs of size 10 Levi's. Oh, she gave them to me a month or two ago. And they're just not fitting around my waist or my butt, but they're tight around my calves, and it's frustrating because if I can't go down to a smaller size because of my calves, then what the hell am I gonna do? So, and I've been trying every step of this journey to love my body, and the fact that, you know, it carried me at my heaviest, and it's getting me back to my goal weight. But there are times that I just look at myself and I don't have love for myself. I don't have love for my bat wings. And I know I should, because they're a mark of the fact that I've had this surgery. Not everyone can have this surgery. Or my thighs, that the doctor could probably take like 20 pounds off of my thighs alone. And I'm trying. It's definitely a daily struggle. I feel like I struggle more with loving my body than I do with food. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. I don't know, like the food I feel like I can handle for the most part, except today. Ugh. But loving myself, because I've never been confident. I've always, I can remember being like 9-10 years old and looking at my brother and being like, I'm fat, you know. And it wasn't, by no means was that said to me. It was my own perception. It was how I saw things. And so that's more of a struggle for me, is loving my body, my new body. Loving the fact that my calves are smaller and yet still large, along with my thighs. It's, I don't know. I did catch myself off guard. I think it was last weekend. Yeah, it was last weekend. My husband and I were at Walmart getting groceries, and I happened to walk by a full-length mirror, and as I looked, I had to do a double take, because I was like, oh my God, is that me? Am I really that small? Like, I haven't ever considered myself small, but then I saw myself in that mirror, and I literally stood there. I didn't want to seem vain to anyone, because there were people all around, but I literally stood there and looked at myself and was like, wow, look how far I've come. And because we don't have a full-length mirror, well, we didn't, so it's not like I was looking at myself every day, you know. I mean, like, the dresser mirror, which, you know, from the waist up, but it's not the same as seeing full length, like right in front of my eyes, like, hey, this is you now. So my Monday was my first day at my new job, and after I got out, I actually went to the Walmart that's like not even 5 miles away, and I bought a full-length mirror just because it was really eye-opening for me to be like, wow, am I that small? To consider myself small is so strange. Like last night when I tried clothes on and I was fitting into size 6s, I looked at my husband and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I literally have not been anything under an 8 since college. And the only time during college that I was anything under an 8 was when I dropped 30 pounds in a month. And I did that because the only thing that the doctors can figure is stress. I stressed myself out so bad that I couldn't eat. And I was dropping a pound a day because I just couldn't. I would try, and it just, ugh, I remember that so vividly. But yeah, I was fitting into 2s and 4s then. But I mean, I ended up putting some of the weight back on, which, no big deal. But it just, I fit into 6s. How freaking crazy is that? It blows my mind. And as much as I want to yell it from the rooftops and be like, this once fat bitch can now fit into size 6s, I also don't want to shove it in people's faces. My one best friend in Texas, she had a baby back in January, and both of us, even in high school, we both were, well, I was like 130 in high school. I felt like I was thick. I mean, looking back, I probably wasn't, but I didn't have the confidence to dress myself with confidence, if that makes sense. But I don't want to like rub it in her face. She'd be happy for me, don't get me wrong. I know she would. 110% she would. But I don't want to like shove it in her face and be like, oh, I can fit into size 6s now. It just, and it's not, my mom hasn't said anything, like no one said anything to me along the lines of don't tell me, you know, like it's my own perception of, I feel like I'm shoving it in people's faces if I just randomly out of nowhere text someone and be like, hey, I fit into size 6s. Like, I don't even like to do that with my mom, and my mom has been a huge cheerleader for me. I don't know, I don't feel like I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'm not even doing a very good job. I apologize if I'm not, but I don't know, it's hard for me to explain how I'm proud of myself, but I don't want to shove it in other people's faces. Like, I don't want to force them to be like, oh, hey, good job. Like, and my other best friend and I, we haven't spoken in weeks. He seemed a bit distracted the last time we were talking, so I just kind of stepped back. I don't know what's going on. He did have a bit going on, so I didn't want to add to it. Sometimes I can be a handful, I'm not gonna lie. God love my husband because he is flawless with me, usually. He's I'm so blessed to have him. The love that I have for my family and for my husband, I wouldn't be who I am without them. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everyone in my life. So, what else is there to update you guys on? Trying to think. I feel like I told my husband purposely, I'm like, I want Sunday to be just a day of nothing. And it has been. Because yesterday we just were running around all day, you know, and with my new job, I don't get home until between 5:30 and 6 every night, you know, whereas my old job, I was getting home by 4:30 the latest, but that's if I had to run errands for work, you know. So it's been an adjustment for Raven, for me, for my husband, you know. I mean, given he's sleeping in the afternoon, so it's not too bad for him. But he actually came down Friday. He didn't work overtime this weekend. He came down Friday to have lunch with me, which was so nice. To have like an actual lunch break is weird. I'm used to just working, powering through, Yeah, I mean, when I dispatched, there was no such thing as break. And that's how it was at my last job. No one else, to answer the phones. So it was me. Just keep right on chugging until end time, quit time. So, but yeah, I'm still trying to help out over there, my old job. I don't want to, my replacement isn't very confident, and I don't want to literally just drop everything on her and be like, see ya, bye, good luck, because the person that I'm replacing, and I understand it's not gonna happen, but to have her sit there and explain to me why she did what she did would have been nice, rather than literally walking in and looking at the shit show that it is and being like, what the hell? Like, this makes no sense. Why? I mean, I have a meeting with the accountant coming up on Friday, which I'm really looking forward to, but I like the atmosphere. I like my new job. It's just, for right now, adjusting, getting everything to what makes sense for me, and not trying to do it the old person's way. Like, it's stressful in a different way. Like, my other job, I knew inside and out, and what was stressing me out was my one boss not calling people back, and people yelling at me because they haven't heard from him, and but with this new job, I fish out of water is what I feel like. I mean, there are parts of it that I have, just because that's what I've been doing, but it's how she got from point A to point B doesn't make sense in my brain, and obviously it did for her, which was fine, but if I had someone to explain, from A, I took a left and then a right, and then I swooped around, and that's how I got to B, as opposed to here's A, here's B, however you get to it is okay, and good luck. Like, tried asking my new bosses a couple questions, and they're like, I have no idea. I don't know. You'll have to ask the accountant, is actually what they've told me a couple times. And so it's a growing pain, I guess, right now, which is no big deal. Once I have things down, it'll be so much easier and chug right along, no big deal. But until then, it'll be what's the word I'm looking for? It'll be I don't know the word I'm looking for. Not exciting. It'll be, I can't even think of the word. Like, that's how crappy I feel today. Sorry. Yeah. So I meet with the surgeon again next month. He said that it would be, because it's my 6-month checkup, that he's gonna do blood work just to see how my levels are, which will be the first time I'll have had them done since before surgery. So I'm looking forward to getting a reading on where I'm at, just so that I can know. I'm not. I'm a knower. I just want to know. You know, I don't like to willy-nilly guess things. So, but yeah, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, leave them below. Feel free to email me at rollingtorny@gmail.com. And have a great one. I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.